Here's some things about loneliness. I just wanted to talk about the topic and explore the facts about loneliness in an interesting way and from like a safe space kind of environment. So maybe we can look at it and learn something. And I made some research. I typed in some questions to ChatGPT. I can give you, like, I can say what I found out. And I also wanted to put emphasis on what are the structural factors that allow loneliness to flourish, and what are the personal traits that allow loneliness to flourish. And also I want to read something about who is profiting from loneliness, so that we can be more aware of certain things. Okay. And then I will also say some YouTubers that have nice information also. Okay. And I will not so much go into how to combat loneliness, because there is plenty of information out there. But I will say like one main thing that I would recommend the most in the end. Okay. Yeah. So I think I'll just, there are many negative effects of loneliness, and I'll just put them on the screen. I don't want to go into detail, but there are many negative effects. So I guess you could say that there's a problem with loneliness, and the society, I would just want to look at what are the structural factors that allow loneliness to flourish. One of them is social isolation, probably the most logical one. Busy lifestyles. So I think this makes sense. Or if you go through life with busy lifestyle and you don't really have time to talk about, like, you don't really have time to, like, 10 minutes to meet random people. So you're gonna meet less people. So if you're busy, or even if you're busy, you don't have time for friends. I get this, It also says technology, structural factor of loneliness. I think partially yes. So what I can think of is there's more individual entertainment, so everyone just can be entertained, and you don't have to go out to watch something in the theater. You can just go on YouTube, and maybe technology. But I also think that technology can connect people, can help to connect also. So I wouldn't just say it on the negative side. I made some notes. There's stigma, and I thought that point is really interesting as a structural factor. There's a stigma of maybe shame. People might be shamed that they suffer from loneliness, so they don't address it and they don't get help. And I think that's a really important point, because in that case you can't really you're not making it better, but it's making it even worse. So stigma is a good point. So ChatGPT is smart. Cultural norms. So I guess here we have this this independence is higher valued. So if you have a great job and you get a lot of money and you don't need help from anybody, this is a very high value. And also if you don't, like I think independence, it also means somebody who's not asking for help, right? So this is quite interesting also. Independent, like I would see it as a positive thing, independence, But in this, it's quite interesting that they say it, that's a factor, And the other side would be if you ask people for help, if you maybe move, if you can't afford a single household, I'm gonna say it like that, phrase it like that. Then you're gonna live with other people, and that's less lonely, I would say. And the last point ChatGPT mentioned is economic factors, so structural factors. I'm not sure exactly, how this is a structural thing, because I would say that the loneliness, I would say economy is like, it could be a personal thing as well, a personal factor as well. Well, the way I understand it is, if you are poor, you can't go and join social events that cost money, that are expensive. I wonder how this could be tackled, but it's quite sad. I don't know what to say about that. Okay, the next thing is personal traits that allow loneliness to flourish. And I will just say them. And I think each of them would require individual help for the specific thing, right? You might need to go to seek help, seek a professional, I'm gonna say. Okay. Social anxiety. Obviously, you enjoy to, or you don't enjoy to go and meet people. Low self-esteem. Perfectionism. Lack of self-awareness. Introversion. Makes sense. Lack of assertiveness. Okay. So I guess this means you as a person should be more powerful or more assertive. Maybe that's a good tip, but I'm not sure. Fear of rejection. Oh, here we go again. Yeah, I would say all of these points are perfectly, like, they all make sense. And I also, like, as I said before, I'm sure these can be dealt with. Yeah. And I also wrote down, these points can prevent you from forming meaningful relationships, meaningful connections. Yeah. Now, okay, I'm gonna check my notes. Now, okay, these are some effects of loneliness on the body. And if you're lonely for a long time, that's what it says. that you have chronic low intensity stress. And this can be high blood pressure and inflammation in the body, and increased risk to heart attack, stroke, dementia, and also increased risk for depression. Yeah, I think there's a lot you can study, but in a way I think that's not really interesting to mention. Yeah, but what I would say is it's interesting that it also has a negative effect on the body. There's one page, there's one source that said something really interesting, and I can't really read it because I don't have the link right now, but I'm gonna explain it. So this was to do with like some doctor. He had two patients. He said a lot of the patients said when they got visitors, then the patients would say, "Oh, my pain was really, really bad, but now that you're here, it's better." And sometimes it's even gone. And that's an interesting point. So the conclusion he drew, there was physical contact and can reduce the pain, and even in some cases that you don't need the painkillers anymore. Yeah, I guess it depends. And I think he was also saying like being gently stroked on the arm, and yeah, just somebody visiting. Yeah, quite interesting. So the loneliness factor can have an effect in both ways. And yeah, there were more points in this. Yeah, maybe I'll take a look. So I got my points that I wrote down, and now, okay, I will say there was this YouTuber, a hybrid calisthenics, and he made a video dealing with loneliness, and I watched it, and he was making one point that I found quite interesting. He was saying he was emphasizing the importance of one-to-one interactions. So, and he made the example like he has one person who he writes his daily tasks, or like he's writing, "I'm buying some milk," something like that. And I think it's quite a good advice, just having one person, it can make a huge difference. And that's what he was saying. And I thought this also, I think this also applies to one-to-one conversations and maybe phone calls as well. So rather than using social media where you post something for everybody, right? It's quite an interesting point. Interesting challenge. And then there was for hybrid calisthenics, I also thought about, does it make sense journaling? So if you write down what you did on this day instead of telling a person. But I think this is more like an activity rather than social interaction, right? For this, okay, I have another video recommendation. TEDx talks, loneliness, Lorenzo Butroni, TEDx Youth, ISF. Yeah. I think he made a really good distinction between social loneliness and emotional loneliness. Actually, I'm not quite sure what I watched, but I remember that it was interesting. I don't remember the points he made, but I think he gave a really nice overall explanation. And now maybe I want to go into who is profiting from loneliness. Okay. There's something about impulse buying. So this might be a different topic. I don't want to go into this, but if there's more loneliness. Okay. I will just explain it a little bit. I'll go into it a little bit. So, how loneliness affects consumers in the context. So, different types of loneliness, social and emotional loneliness, how they shape the consumer's impulsive behaviors in social media context, as well as the role of parasocial interaction in these effects. Yeah. So I would say social media in general profits from loneliness, because if you're not lonely, and I'm kind of equating it, if you're having fun playing games with people offline, then you don't really use social media. So there's less time for you in the social media. And it's less time for them to send you ads or expose you with ads. Emerging loneliness economy. Okay, now I said social media will profit from loneliness. I'll also say dating apps profit from loneliness. And there's things like internet provider, they will profit from loneliness, but they will also connect people in a way. Let's see. Social media emerging technologies created unparalleled opportunities for connection to the extent that millions of people engage online within seconds. Instant messaging, video, conferencing, and various social media platforms have eroded the barriers of geographical distance, allowing to communicate instantly regardless of time or place. Okay, so there's more distance. In theory, humanity is more interconnected than it has ever been. However, in reality, epidemic of loneliness is taking the popularity by storm. Yeah, I will kind of connect it to the number of single households. Because, I heard somewhere that this went up. Okay, I need to change the video. MichiganDaily.com. This is the article. It's Emerging Loneliness Economy by Tom Moyer, 2023. this growing presence of loneliness is being exploited by companies and influencers alike, many of whom beginning to view it as a significant business opportunity. The loneliness economy, an expanding cohort of businesses are selling the promise of an end to social isolation, with alluring commercialized connections from thousands of dating platforms that have cropped up over the past decade, to the rise in co-living collaborative workspaces. Okay. The promise of facilitated human contact has become a goldmine marketing opportunity. Maybe it's a good tip for you. I don't think so. While many of these businesses have been able to provide legitimate connections for isolated people, there are many others that are simply seeking to turn a quick profit. Okay, now it says rent a girlfriend services have quickly gained traction in countries such as Japan, where businesses hope to capitalize on an unfulfilled need for romantic connection. Okay, I'm kind of sorry about this trend. Okay, could be rent a friend apps similarly allow individuals to rent platonic company for $40 per hour, even when websites such as capitalism.com market professional cuddling therapy for prices beginning at $60 for an hour-long session. I think I heard that there's a community that enjoys cuddling, and what I remember is they would not charge. They will find a cuddling partner and then cuddle. While the majority of these platforms exploit a desire for physical connection, many other businesses are seeking to capitalize on the human drive for emotional attachment. Okay. In particular, celebrities and influencers stand to financially gain from the rising prevalence of parasocial relationships. One-sided relationships in which one party extends emotional energy, interest, and time, while the other individual remains completely unaware of their existence. Oh, that's like a really good definition of parasocial relationship. Welcome to this parasocial relationship. These relationships are most common with celebrities and media personalities, and pivot upon perceived relationship between influencer and follower. The semblance of emotional intimacy between influencers and their audience creates a particular receptivity to suggestions ranging from recommended products to lifestyle choices. Now that I think about it, it's so true, you know. The relationship between viewer and some social media star is really crazy. Because I guess the social media people, they talk to you like a real person, or like a friend, or like an older sister, or whatever. And it's gonna feel like a friend, an older sister. But in reality, they don't, the star, they don't even know the viewer. So strange. But you're kind of treated like a real person, like a real person you know. Okay. Yeah, lifestyle choices. For many celebrities, capitalizing on these emotional connections often appears in the form of brand deals. Right, okay, so influencers, they do profit from this, obviously. Where influencers will encourage followers to buy particular items from the standpoint of a friend. Okay, there he says it. These posts have been proven particularly lucrative, with some influencers ranking in an estimated 15,000 per post. I think this is a little bit older. They on a good TikTok trend. They can pay up to, I think, $80,000 for a post. But like that's what I heard in a different podcast. I think there was an interview with a TikTok star. I call them stars. No, because they are. Yeah. The expanding popularity of Get Ready With Me, or GRWM, videos on TikTok serve as a testament to this reality. This is from 2023. An article by Vogue emphasized the comforting nature of this trend, allowing followers to suddenly feel like close friends of their favorite celebrities and influencers. This sounds fun. I agree, this sounds fun. During these videos, celebrities will often subtly market or recommend certain products that they use throughout their makeup routines. The trend has quickly been adopted by brands as an ideal form of product marketing. Nearly half of the consumers reported feeling a personal connection to a brand when it's used by a creator that they like. Okay, Alex Early, for instance, became an online sensation with her Get Ready With Me content, making up to $70,000 for a 60-second video. There she goes, wow, there you go, it's a lot of money. I feel like I actually now know Alex. She makes us as a consumer feel like her friend. I don't know her, maybe I can look at her content. One follower wrote, and indeed the tremendous success of influencers like Earl seem to highlight an increasingly unmet desire for emotional comfort among the teenage demographic. I never saw it that way. Okay. So you're kind of looking for emotional comfort online, and then I never saw it that people don't have it in reality if they look for Get Ready With Me. Like, yeah, I thought it's just like something that people watch for relaxation, or just to have something on, or if they're interested in the routine that they have, like for the information. Okay. The arrival of loneliness economy as a term has produced necessary moral questions. Oh, there we go. While many of these platforms and influencers have provided audiences with a temporary reprieve, made a little cut. Where was I? First of all, Tate Moyer is a woman. I misinterpreted her name. While these platforms of influencers have provided audiences with temporary reprieve from social isolation, they harbor addictive qualities that can be both financially and emotionally damaging in the long term. The situation raises ethical questions surrounding monetization of human emotions. Oh my god, next topic, right? A market-driven approach to loneliness requires careful contemplation. Ultimately, it is up to both businesses and individuals to navigate the emotional landscape of this issue. Exactly. In ensuring that the increasing desire for companionship is approached with respect and sensitivity. Okay, take my ear for MichiganDaily.com. I will put the link in. So, I just finished this article. I'm really happy. There's one really interesting Reddit post I wanted to show you. Start with the title, right? How modern capitalism profits from loneliness and isolation. Sounds very interesting. I think that the author is K-Ray 1994. I think, right? Yeah. And this Redditor, he made some really interesting points, and I'm gonna go with that. So how they profit, right? Car culture. Car culture is the reason why American-style suburbs are designed the way they are. It's quite an interesting point, I guess, right? I think it's more to do with having the ability to work. I don't know. They are also a way. They're also car culture, right? Oh no, suburbs. They are also a way. They're also way. Most suburbs lack proper amenities, and why public transit is so messy. The idea is to create dependency on cars and isolate people. So that's his point. If everybody has a car, then people are more isolated. I would agree with that. But his other points are more interesting, I think. The concept of a third place is unprofitable and inconvenient for most people. So this is a two-sided issue. A proper third place is unheard of nowadays. And for this point, I did some research, and so apparently you can call it a first place. That is your home. The second place, that is your job or university or school. And then the third place is something like a cultural activity place, maybe like a bar or cinema, or maybe a youth center. And this is really eye-opening, because I thought that's completely true. If you have a place where you can surround yourself with like different people, and you can get in touch with people, it all makes sense. I mean, that's a good way to combat the loneliness. So I'm gonna continue his point. Pubs and restaurants, for example, are known to increase the volume of their music, speed up service, and get a little pushy to force you out and get a new customer in. On top of this, because the concept of most of these are so concentrated that they're usually too crowded. Okay. To add another layer. Because most people live in American-style suburbs. They're usually far away from the said third place. I guess it's kind of specific. So distance is an important thing for him. Or have expensive car rides, expensive Uber, right? Lots of time on transit and driving for 30 minutes just to get to a third place. That really makes sense, right? Really, unless you're a college student going to a college or bar or cafe, the concept of a third place is non-existent. Quite interesting point, I think. Work from home is pitched as convenience, but it's really a driver towards isolation. Good point, I didn't mention that before. So working from home is such a change, and you have even less social interactions. Yeah, I think in that case it's really important to have friends, family, or to get out of home at some point. It also blurs the line between work and home, which has a ton of effects on its own. I can't be too mad at work from home, seeing how cities are horribly designed in North America, but also work from home is a non-solution since it encourages isolation and kills interaction. Yeah, he made his point, actually. I would say there are some benefits, like you save some time commuting and energy commuting. But in turn, you really need to make sure to get out. All of our entertainment utilities are designed to isolate you, because isolation means increased use, ergo higher traffic. Social media sites aren't designed to connect people, they're designed to keep you scrolling. So he's kind of making the point, the main design is this and that, like to keep you on the website. Yeah, I would say it's true. But I mean, isn't it also like they also have the benefit to connect people, or it's still a benefit. Yeah, maybe the point, maybe the result is, social media, and you can do what you make of it, basically. Yeah, this can be said for dating apps as well as streaming sites and so on. Yeah, interesting point. I think I made a similar point, probably because I read it. But interesting that he says also entertainment. Because, yeah, if you watch a series and you maybe you kind of forget that you're lonely, but it doesn't solve the problem. If it is a problem, right? It's sold as convenience, but really the idea is to keep you isolated and consuming. Yeah. Especially since isolation creates higher need for these utilities. Good point. Good point. So he kind of says that entertainment and technology, yeah, is basically designed to make you more isolated because it's more profitable. Yeah. As well as higher drive and drive to escape. I didn't get that. Especially since isolation creates higher need for these utilities, as well as a higher drive to escape. So when I'm lonely, yeah, okay, distraction from being lonely could be the case. Okay, now he kind of makes a point. Human behavior itself needs to be changed. I'm summarizing. He kind of makes the point, all these 4 points. Car culture, missing third place, work from home, a lot of technology and entertainment, benefit all at the cost of your humanity. That's a big point, yeah. So he's kind of saying that isolation is the opposite of humanity. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a good interpretation. But all of these large corporate entities literally benefit from people being isolated, lonely, which both happen to be prevalent epidemics amongst young people, especially as we get younger. Okay, so as you look at younger people, that's what he means. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, so I think these points were really interesting. Reddit, K. Ray, 1994. Interesting point. I can link this as well. There's one more thing. There's this video. There's a TED Talk, Loneliness, by Lorenzo Butroni, and he says one interesting point, and that's there's social pain, and for example, if you get rejected, you have social pain, and I think maybe that's the feeling of loneliness, or yeah. And he says the same brain part gets active when you have social pain as when you have pain. So there's this connection, definitely. Very interesting. And I think I went through all of my things. I'm gonna check once more. Okay, I'll just mention again, hybrid calisthenics, dealing with loneliness, 24-minute video. It's quite nice. there's a bunch of bodily effects and some, I'm gonna say, cognitive effects. Insomnia, sleeping patterns, problems. Okay. And I think I have another longer article, but it's kind of a long video already. So I will. Yeah, it says the risks of social isolation by C.E. Corner. I haven't. No. APA.org, American Psychological Association. I guess this is exactly on the topic. Or more like how to combat loneliness for those most at risk. Older adults, yeah. Combat. I will not go into this one. Profits. Yeah. I got the Reddit. Yeah, okay, so I think I got everything. And I would like to say my favorite point of combating loneliness is to go find a local group of interest. So whatever is an interest for you, I guess it could be sports, and I guess it could be a book club, could be knitting club, some sort of a hobby, maybe fighting, maybe whatever, and go there. And making music is a nice one. Go there, and this is the best way to get to know people. Even if you don't talk to everybody, you can just go there and get exchange, like talk to each other, basically. Yeah, that's my favorite advice from all the ones that I read. And another one is also reach out to somebody, just like that. Reach out to somebody just like that. Yeah. Or if someone's sitting alone, go approach them. I don't know. Thank you for your attention. Yeah, I think this is. I think this is the end of the video, but there's so much interesting points about like the capitalization of human emotions. Sounds interesting. And from that perspective, thank you for reminding me of the fridge. I have this socket thing that I can just push a button and the fridge will go on. So thanks for reminding me that I need to plug my fridge back in. Other than that, I made a video on regrets, no, rejection, and it's the third one of this kind, I think. The last one was laziness, right? Okay, so I have rejection, laziness, and now I have loneliness. And I hope you sleep very well. Thank you. And maybe I say one thing. I don't claim that this is the knowledge of all time. So if you have interesting points as well, or maybe links or something, you can. You're very welcome to put them in the comments. Yeah. Thank you. Say goodbye to the parasocial relationship. Like, bye bye. Beware of the audio. The next video may be louder than this one.